I come from a very suburban background, having been born and raised in the suburbs and lived in the suburbs most of my life. And about 6 years ago, we moved to downtown Knoxville, and I began working for a church in downtown Knoxville. Life is the Lord just saying to me, this is not a game that we're playing. It's cool to live downtown and to work and play and worship downtown, but I want you to see downtown and the people of downtown, the people that you encounter in your neighborhood and on Market Square, through my eyes. I think for me, Compassion Coalition is a ministry of witness, if you will. I feel like they've been very with me as I lean into and learn more about poverty and the people, my neighbors in my community. I feel like they've been with our church as we figure out how to connect people to resources. So the first area that Compassion has been influential in my life is simply through their suggested reading list, which they give out in the trainings and can be found on the website as well. And so as I'm reading When Helping Hurts and other resources such as that, I am finding that I have a new definition of poverty. It's not just a lack of material resources, which is how I used to define it. But I'm also coming to terms with my own brokenness and the areas in my own life where I am impoverished. And that's been one area that the Lord has really been speaking to me about. The second area that Compassion Coalition has impacted me is through the frontline trainings. I've done 2 out of the 4 frontline trainings that they offer. That as image bearers, all people have gifts and strengths and abilities, and that they can own their own problems and that they can work with others to be a part of the solution to their problems. When I'm approached by somebody's urgent need, my first response is usually an emotional one. How can I help them? How can I fix this? I realized that my personal process was not working. And where that hit home for me this summer was with my neighbors who were without power for the better part of the summer, and then their vehicle broke down. And so they came to me with these very urgent needs, and my first response was to give them money and to start taking them places. And very quickly I realized that their needs far outweighed my resources to help. I think the 2 greatest things that maybe were helpful to me in that regard were just crossing the street and building a relationship with them, and then connecting them with resources that I had been connected with through Compassion Coalition. The third impact that Compassion Coalition had on me has just been recently through the Cost of Poverty experience, where I really felt the isolation and loneliness of the person that I portrayed. And I found myself asking questions during that simulation, like, what are my resources? What are my personal resources? But where are the resources in the community, and how do I access them? And once I get to certain places, what questions do I even ask? I didn't even know what questions to ask. Can anybody help me? Does anybody see me? Does anybody understand that I'm just trying to survive? There was a real sense of panic as I'm going through the Cost of Poverty experience. But it's not a game. We are involved with real people living real lives, a lot of them at or below the poverty line. The message is, you're not alone. We're here to help you, to connect you to resources, and we are with you. And that to me is just a beautiful picture of the gospel.